Welcome back to Steve Rob Reviews. Today's review is going to be all about my new FS91R Stihl trimmer. Now this review is going to be quite different than probably any other review you've seen on a gas trimmer because, well, you're going to have to watch and find out because I don't do things the same as everybody else does. I only put in the stuff that's, for me, logical to show. So let's get over to the bench here. I'm going to talk a little bit about my trimmer. I'm going to compare it to some other Stihl trimmers that I have. And this one here is very unique to me because it's not a two-stroke. It's a four-stroke trimmer. It still uses the Stihl 50-to-1 gas mixture, but it's, well, I think it's pretty awesome. So let's go over to the bench. Let's take a look. Okay, so here's the trimmer right here, and it's got about 2 hours on it. So I got about 2 hours on it, and I'm going to discuss the reasons why I bought this compared to other ones. And you know, I've got my other Stihl trimmer in the back here. It's a combi unit, and I got the blade ready to go on. Now this is a homeowner's unit, and there's nothing wrong with homeowner stuff. This here is the professional series. It's the smallest in the professional series, the 91. And I'll talk a little bit about line. And you know, when it comes to looking at a machine, well, I wanted one that on the industrial side, commercial side, because, well, if you take a look at my videos up in Northern Ontario, the one that I'm using now is an FS91R, and it's been a great machine. I've owned that since 2008, and well, it's getting kind of tired. So this one here is a four-stroke, and it's got valves, and it's completely different than the other design. But I will tell you something. This particular machine sounds different, operates different, and in my opinion is far superior than what I'm used to in a two-stroke. I never owned a four-stroke before. This is my first one. Of course, there is some maintenance to do. About every 100 hours you have to do the valves on it, and I'm going to do that myself. And it starts the same as every other machine. You know, the only difference I noticed on this was the trimmer head itself here. It's so easy to load the line in. You know, you just feed it your line in from one end to the other, and then on the bottom you can just turn it and it'll twist all the line in. So it's a lot different, right? But overall, I wanted one that had a solid shaft, you know, for putting on a blade. And you know, because when it comes down to it, if I buy this one here compared to buying another homeowner unit, well, I'm probably going to burn the homeowner unit out for what I use it for. Now, if you're just using it around your house, this one here, the 56, is awesome rig. It's great. Now, the only reason why I buy Stihl is I've had pretty good service out of Stihl. They're not perfect. No machine's perfect. I have no brand loyalty to anything, but if I get something that works half decent, well, you know, I'll just keep buying it, right? Because if it's not junk, I'll keep buying it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this up and show you the difference and compare it to my other machine, the FS240, which is a two-stroke. It's a much bigger machine, and I traded it in for this one here. So I'm going to show you the difference here, but I like to buy a machine that's been made for quite a few years. This has been made since, I believe, 2017, the 91R. So since 2017, well, they got it figured out by now, right? So now, if you go on YouTube, the problem with YouTube is it's exactly the same as watching your news. If you want to get lots of views on YouTube, just talk horrific stuff about any product and you get lots of views. But if you say something's good, well, not too many people really care because they want to hear all the drama, right? Well, there's no drama in this at all. Stihl built, you know, fantastic equipment. So you're not going to hear me trash anything about Stihl. I've had to repair parts, like I had a video not too long ago where I had to replace the coil on my FS240. And the thing I like about Stihl is you can take everything apart so easily. You don't have a whole bunch of different fasteners. It's all the same torque fasteners, and you can take stuff apart, put it back together. It's easy to work on, easy to maintain as far as, you know, my skill level. And this unit here is about the same weight as my my FS85, but it's got a bigger tank, and the fuel burn on this 4-stroke is much less. And the thing I really like about this is I can get done with this at just half load on the engine, where before on the 2-stroke you got to wind them up pretty high RPMs to get them to work good. This here, the torque curve is much lower. It's a 4-stroke, so I'm only pressing the throttle about halfway, and you know, just about halfway, and you know what? It's doing all the work of the 2-strokes that you pretty much had to run wide open to get them to have any torque. So it's a lot different operating machine, and I really like it, and it's quiet. So I'll show you the 240 FS240 here, what it sounds like, and you take a look at this right here. So that's the FS240 just idling away there after I put a new coil in it. So let's take this one out and put it in the same spot, and you tell me what you think about this sound. Okay, so let's just rev it up a bit so you could hear how it's much different than a 2-stroke. So that's about half throttle there, and that's all I ever need to do any cutting with it, because, well, it's pretty much reached its maximum horsepower. Any higher than that, I'm going to get more speed, but I'm not really going to get any more power out of the motor itself, and I'm liking that. Okay, so there's some things over the years that have changed with many of the Stihl trimmers. And the first time I noticed the change was when I got this one. And you can see there's just a button here just to stop the machine. So you press the button. Next time you want to start it, well, there's no switch. On my FS85, there's a switch for off and on. Now on this one here, same thing. All you do is just press this in, stops the engine. Next time you go to start it, you're ready to go. My old one had a off and on, and you know, that has gone a long time ago with trimmers. So that's the rig right there, and I just you can notice that this one here has got the blade on, but this is the trimmer head for it. I always put some, you know, some lithium grease on the bottom here, so it makes it easy to take off next time. This is the old style trimmer where you have to press in right in here to get the thing opened, and a lot of times, well, you're opening this quite a bit because the line welds in there or breaks off or whatever. Now I'd like you to just take a look at this line here. Now this is the only line that I use. I don't actually care about the different brands, but you can see how it just wears down to the end like this. It doesn't break off, and it doesn't weld itself inside, because what happens a lot of times is when you're using this, it'll pull in and out, in and out, in and out, microseconds, you know, of pulling in and out, and that's where it welds inside here to the next piece of line that's next to it. But this particular type of line that I use doesn't do that. Now on Stihl, when I bought their rig here, yeah, they got this smooth round line, and it wasn't within 10 minutes I had to take it apart because the line was fused together inside. So I'll be switching this out as soon as I run out of line, because I won't use this round lined anymore. I find it's useless. So I'll show you this line here. It doesn't really matter the brand, but I'm using 95 for everything. And it's just got these twists to it. And I just bought a new one here. And you can see it's twisted premium line, 95. And there's a number that I buy there. And it's awesome line, you know, that doesn't get fused in there. And all it's got is these little ribs on the outside. And you can see how it's just twisted, and it's got these small little like ribs on the outside, and that prevents it from welding to each other, you know, when it gets hot. And this line works fantastic. It doesn't really matter the brand. I mean, I bought this one on Amazon. This one here I bought at Home Depot, and I'll use this line here up. Like usually one of these rolls, I would say gives me 2 seasons. So my old FS85 and this FS91 have about the same weight, have about the same horsepower, but you know what? At half throttle, this has got the same horsepower as my old FS85 running full tilt. So I'm really liking this. It's got a lot larger tank. Usually I have to fill up at least 1.5 times just to do my trimming up at my place up north. This one here, a lot larger tank. I won't have to fill it up at all when I'm trimming. It's very fuel efficient. Like you say, when you run something at half the throttle of the other machine, you could expect that, right? So whatever trimmer you're thinking of buying, I would recommend just buy a good brand name. I like Stihl because I can get parts no matter how far out there. I can get parts. And you can get aftermarket parts for stuff too. A lot of different machines out there. You got to go to the dealer and get specific parts from the dealer. And well, I don't always do that. For some parts I will, but you know, when they're too expensive, I go aftermarket. So thanks for joining me here today. Come back again. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe and see some interesting things that I do every week, including not actually showing you this machine cutting grass. Because most videos will show you cutting grass. I mean, everybody has seen grass being cut, right? So what's the purpose of that? I mean, you know, like a lot of people take it out some tall grass and say, here, I can cut that. But I like to just show what's required. And today, well, I think I did that. Cheers.